Hello, welcome everyone. Steve Westman from the Audiophiles. I am live today, solo from the HIFI Centre at 433 Carroll. Guys, if you haven't already, click on that subscription button. It helps my channel out a ton. I really appreciate it. Now, I decided to go solo today. I normally sometimes do a midweek roundtable. I decided just to go solo today, show some records, review a few things, talk about some of the latest news. I thought it would be kind of fun. So I wanted to really get started with that. Thank you so much for joining me if you want already. Some big news. We'll start right away. What's going on? What's being released? I think it's fun to sort of look at that. I saw this today. Tom Waits, The Island Years. I found this very, very interesting. Now, this is 5 Tom Waits albums released by Island Records in the 1980s and 90s. Going to be freshly remastered by Chris Bellman at Bernie Grundman Studios from the masters, but mastered using 198 kilohertz 24-bit sourced, 24-bit master digitally sourced from the master tapes. So if you check that one out, coming out, Tom Waits, The Island Years. I know a lot of fans of Tom Waits. It kicks off September 1st with 1993's album Swordfish Trombones. Then we have 1985's Rain Dogs, and then 87's Frank's Wild Years, and then we have 92's Bone Machine, and then Black Rider, I believe, is sometime in October. So check that out right now. Now, if you're looking for bargains, I was scouring through the Acoustic Sounds or website this morning. Check this one out. Pink Floyd, A Saucer Full of Secrets, the mono mix version. Have a look at that. $14 right now online. So if you need that, I think that's a really good deal. And I was also looking at this one too. I thought this is a really good value if you're looking for something that will really complement your gear, your listening room. Starker's Box Suites, the unaccompanied cello, complete 45 RPM, 180 gram, 6 LP box set. It's going for $195 for 6 LPs, 45 RPM. Not bad at all. Guys, make some comments here. It's going to be a good show today. And I saw this here. We're live on Facebook as well. So hello from MoFi Buy and Sell Analog Productions group page. Hello there. I love this too. So is your wife ever going through your phone and all she finds are pictures of your record collection? I think that would be me. I would have to admit, probably most of us these days into this. That's for sure. Another thing, Rhino. Finally, I'm trying to get Rhino's High Fidelity label to have Black Sabbath come out on their hi-fi label. Well, they've just re-released, or I guess reissued again, or repressed or reprinted the Black Sabbath Paranoid Quad Blu-ray audio, and it's a great deal, $25 there. Can't go wrong. And then another thing from Rhino I saw today was this. Live at the Matrix, 1967, the original masters by The Doors. If you're interested, that's, what is it, $125 right now at the Rhino, on the Rhino site. So very fascinating. And guys, when we have some time, I'm at the HIFI Centre. You know, I've been here for a while. One of my sponsors of my show. Want to show you around just to see what it looks like. I know there's some clients today doing some private doing some private listening in some of the rooms, but we'll see what we can come up with. But I definitely want to show you. You can see the Mac behind me here, and I'll show you some of the speakers and sort of where I set up as well. But I wanted to start off. I know in the last roundtable, we talked about the DG, or the Deutsche Grammophon label albums. I just got this one. This is Gustav Mahler, Symphony 5. Amazing packaging, and I really wish, in an audiophile label, they did this more often. I know MoFi does it, but I mean, they do it where you don't have to rip the shrink, and it's nicely textured. Very nice, thick, textured album. Of course, it's a gatefold here, and these are from the original source tapes, I think 1973, when this was first recorded. Mastered by Sydney Meyer, who I'd love to have on the roundtable at some time to chat about her career. And I found this interesting as well. Talks about the original source right here, series from 1970s quadraphonic masters to the 2020s pure analog vinyl. And of course, Sydney, who is the vinyl cutting engineer, signs off on it and talks about it as well. And then, of course, you got the back. Thought this is cool as well. There's the tape box, or the front of the tape box as well, which is really wild. but all in, if you want, I mean, I'm not, this is one area or one genre that I'm not really that familiar with. I mean, I was in band and whatnot for years when I was in school, but classical music hasn't been something I've been really big on my list of collecting. And I really got motivated last week when Michael Johnson, who does poetry for Plastic, you know, recommended or was speaking very highly about these albums. So I went and grabbed this one. You can grab these on Amazon, Canadian right now. I got this one for $95 shipping in, and it sounds like you're at the orchestra. It sounds incredible. I have nothing to compare it to, obviously, but I mean, I wanted to try it out, and really kudos to these guys. I mean, Deutsche Grammophon. This is limited edition. It says 2600. You can see here. That's mine there, 2089. So yeah, I mean, at some point probably they will run out and you'll have to buy it on Discogs or the aftermarket. But I'm excited to definitely look at other ones as well. There's another original source that came out that Michael Johnson from Poetry Plastic also recommended. It was the Beethoven one. So I'm going to have a look at that one as well. There's so much we want to buy, right? But that is, you know, basically what I want to show you today. I'm really impressed with the packaging. Of course, the vinyl is from Optimal, fully made in Germany. Really nice. I am really impressed with this, and it sounds fantastic as well. Just want to get a few comments, see what you guys are up to. Sorry about that. Let me see. Hi, Leland. Hi, Jason. Thank you. Starker is terrific. Yeah, Scott, I really want to get that one. Hello, Arnaldo. Hello, Sean. Starker seems like a good deal. Yeah, that's what I thought too when I went onto the website. Tom Waits albums already available in streaming. Yeah, that makes sense. Jeffrey wants the Rain Dogs reissue finally. Yeah, that's gonna be huge to get Waits. I'm excited about that as well. What's Arnaldo saying? Yes, the Tom Waits reissues. I'll put it up so I can read it here. Source from tape but transferred to higher res cut. Exactly right. So that's interesting. I wonder why. Don't know. Of course, we don't know. Hi, Scott again. Not a fan of Mahler. Interesting. Steve, what current hi-fi setup do you have in your house? I got the whole Riga. I got a whole Riga setup with BW speakers, a Riga Planner 6 with an Hania Pro MC cart and a Riga integrated amp as well. I got it from the HIFI Centre here. You know, got it at a pretty decent deal. It still costs a lot of money, but it is what it is. Someone here said Starker is excellent. I know. I think I need to get that one. Again, as a Canadian, $195, you know, US turns into, with shipping and duty and taxes, et cetera, et cetera. You've heard me complain about it before. Probably $280 Canadian when it's all said and done. But how many of you guys are excited about Tom Waits? Anyone a big fan of Tom Waits? I mean, that's going to be an interesting, that comes out, like I said, in September. It is from the original masters, but Chris Bellman took a digital copy of the masters and mastered it from a digital source and cut it to vinyl, which I don't know why, but there must be a reason why. And then one thing too about that, the Waits Island years, his original engineer, I forget his name now, Carl Derfler, longtime audio engineer for Waits. He actually worked with Chris Bellman when they were remastering these titles. So going to be interesting. And I was just reading here too. So on Black Rider, I think someone mentioned Black Rider, or maybe not, but they were sourced from the original half-inch flat master tapes. Swordfish Trombones was sourced from the original EQ'd half-inch production master tapes. Rain Dogs, Frank Wild's Years, Bone Machine, and the Black Rider were all sourced from the original half-flat master tapes. And then, like I said, Bellman remastered the audio in high resolution 192 kilohertz 24-bit. So we'll see. Not DSD. I think someone had asked me, or I saw a comment somewhere that they asked if it was DSD, but it's definitely not DSD. What other comments do we have here? Hang on. What do we got here? VMB is releasing Harry Nilsson's Aerial Ballet, AAA Mono, 5 more albums remastered by Ryan K. Smith. Ryan is busy. I actually reached out to Ryan to see if he wanted to jump on the channel and chat, but man, no, he's been too busy. They haven't gotten back to me. I don't know what this means, where, but where what? Exactly, Tom Waits. So I'm excited. I will definitely buy the Island Years. And who do I have lined up in future interviews? Well, that's for me to know and to you to find out. I put a lot of feelers out there, Leland. There's been a lot of people I'm lining up. It takes some time, schedules. I do this maybe once, twice a week. So it all depends on schedules. You'll have to wait and see. Fidelity's frequency, great deal on Amazon right now, US on the Sonny Rollins Go West box, $88. That is a good deal. Is that because of Amazon Prime days as well? Is that part of it? Does anyone know? Someone asked here, weird if they had the flat transfers and they could have easily compressed them in analog domain. Not sure why the digital step was necessary. Well, the same thing comes true with, if you recall, when Vinyl Please did the Doors self-titled, Bruce Botnick actually remastered that one digitally, had Bernie Grundman cut it using his tube equipment. And Botnick said at the time, and it was an interview that if you Google it it's on the Vinyl Me Please website somewhere, there's an article, and Botnick really felt that it needed to be digital just to get what he wanted out of it. I mean, maybe that's the same as what Carl Derfler wants. I think that's how you pronounce it. Derfler wants, who is Waits' longtime audio engineer. Maybe it's sound. Maybe they cut it using the AAA tapes. Maybe they cut it and then didn't like the sound and used the digital, and that sounded better. I mean, maybe that's what they did. I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm curious when September 1 rolls around what that's going to look like. Ping Fremmer and see if he can come up and talk Speaker's Corner. That's so funny, Leland. He did text me last week after that one roundtable. I guess it was a week today that we had Nadine on, who heard that there's a possibility that Speaker's Corner was going out of business. And Fremmer texted me later on. He said, "Stephen, Speaker's Corner is not going out of business." And that was that. So exclamation mark. So I did invite him on the Friday, but he was busy doing a lot of writing and whatnot. So unfortunately, he won't be on. Speaker's Corner Stalker is worth looking into. I like a lot of my Speaker's Corner stuff, guys. I think it's been fantastic. I'm really, really like that stuff, and I'm glad to hear they're not going out of business. That's for sure. Now, I wanted to tell you, I know being Canadian, I wanted to talk about this. This is interesting as well. Now, I know I've raved about it before. I have. And I call these my Canadian MoFis. This is the A&M Audiophile series that came out right around the time that this album would have been released. It was at 78 maybe, and it was around the same time. And I want to say, and I wish I would have I need Google for this, and I'm live, so I don't have Google, but I think it was like March of 1978. Anyways, this is for the Canadian market. It was half speed mastered, and for the Canadian market on JVC Super Vinyl. So it's the same vinyl. That is basically used for the MFSLs of the 70s and 80s as well. And I found this interesting. So they have two different audiophile series of the same album. So Supertramp, Crime of the Century with the gatefold here. Okay. And then they have the exact same album, same vinyl, matrix numbers, all the same. This is the Audiophile A&M, but with the gold frame. And you're going to say, is there a difference? And I thought for years there wasn't a difference, and there actually is a difference. And I will show you that difference and tell me what you think of it, because I find it fascinating. So I'll start off with this one here. I'm not sure if you can read it, but if you can read it, great. I'll read it to you guys. It's a little hard to read here. So this is back when, they actually are telling us how they used to cut it. So this one here, it says right here, I'll read it. The cutting of the master from the original stereo tapes is performed at half the normal speed. Okay, so they said this is the cutting of the master from the original stereo tapes. I want you guys to remember that exactly. And the reason why is because the matrix on this album in the Dead Wax, the numbers are exactly the same. Now you're going to say, is this guy smoking crack? I am not. I promise you that. Now, listen to this. So this is the gatefold. Okay. Let me read it to you. This record has been manufactured according to an entirely new process where an exact replica is cut at half speed from the original 76 centimeter second master tapes and placed onto anti-static vinyl of the highest quality. So here, they're saying is from the original second master tapes, okay? But this vinyl has the same matrix as this guy, where they're saying it was from the original master tape. So I don't get it. I mean, you can't believe hype stickers. You can't even believe what's on the back of these albums. This is from the 70s as well. Go figure. I don't know. But I wanted to show you guys this. I love my A&M half-speed masters. Now, I will give you a recommendation if if you're looking for them. I mean, you probably find them more in Canada than in the States. I'll put them up again so you can see. But there is in the Supertramp, and I call it our complete Canadian MoFi. It's the Supertramp, even in the quietest moments, half-speed cut on JVC Super Vinyl. It was actually remastered or cut by Stan Ricker, but it wasn't a MoFi. It was actually an A&M audiophile pressing of Supertramps, even in the quietest moments. So pick that up. I did a review on it a couple years ago on my channel way back. So really enjoy that one as well. So if you haven't seen these before, these are the Canadian MoFis. I always find these interesting. I have almost every single one. They've got one, maybe 4 of the Police titles. There's a hard to find Carpenter's Greatest Hits that I own as well. A few other ones. So yeah, audiophile, A&M. You can get them in Canada. I'm not sure what they're like in the States, but pretty good bargain. And Discogs, a lot of them are expensive, but yeah, it's one of those things. I'm just going to go back to the comments here, guys. Let me just see here. Does the second tape mean safety copy? Does anyone know the answer? Wouldn't it just say safety copy? I don't know. Not sure. Most LPs are cut from copies that not the actual master, always have been. I agree with that too. And I know, you guys know I've been doing a lot of interviews with mastering engineers, spoken to a lot of people from the industry. And I have a feeling that even the old MFSLs of the 70s and 80s, Stan Ricker would have probably copied from the master and then half-speed cut from his copy as well. I do believe that's probably what happened. For most of it, I don't believe that they just strictly cut from the master of these of the 70s and 80s MFSLs. I think they made a copy and used that copy to cut to vinyl. That's what I believe, just based on all the people I've spoken to in the industry over the years. So that's my thoughts, anyways. I guess we'll never know. Stan Ricker is obviously passed away, but I think that I think that's possibly what happened there. Scott Wheeler, all Speakers Corner were cut from 2-channel mixed-down copy tapes, not from the original 3-track master tapes. Now, last week, when Michael Johnson was on, he was mentioning too, and maybe I know Scott, you're on for that. Most of Speakers Corner they cut from I guess a dub tape or whatnot, not from the original, but from a copy tape. I believe that's what Speakers Corner does. And I know, speaking with Michael Fremer, he has no problem with a tape copy of the original being cut to vinyl. From my conversation with him, I mean, obviously, before we knew about DSD Gate, yeah, I mean, we thought it was being cut from the original tapes, and even Fremer even said that maybe they're making a copy of the original tape and then cutting to vinyl instead of the DSD process. Scott says here, it could mean that it was EQ'd process copy tape. So I'm going back to what I'm referring to if you guys missed it. Now, the Supertramp here, A&M Supertramp Crime of the Century, audiophile series, half-speed mastered, JVC Super Vinyl. It says here it was cut from the original second master tapes, and Scott was just saying here, probably the EQ'd process copy it was cut from, which could be the case, but it's kind of weird, right? Because you have this one here that does not say that. It just says it's strictly cut from the original master tapes, no different than, let's say, the Mobile Fidelity's Supertramp. And I do have Mobile Fidelity's Crime of the Century and these two as well, and a Canadian original. I will say, from my listening of all these albums, there's really no difference between the A&M half-speed masters and the Mobile Fidelities, from what I can tell. So very interesting. Scott again. The originals we did that one. Sorry, Scott, are you? All right. So who cut the A&M Canadian titles? Not off the top of my head. I want to say it was it's Bruce Dickinson, if I'm not mistaken. If you guys want to Google that or go to Discogs, Bruce Dickinson. There was one other fellow as well that did a lot of the cuts for A&M, the audiophile series. But yeah, I don't have that offhand. I apologize for that. Now, I know I grew up in the 80s, and I know we've been talking a lot on the roundtable about the different albums that are out there, and we're always going back to albums that have been there for 40, 50 years. Why don't we look at other albums? And I want to get your guys' opinion today as well, and what you think of my ideas here in terms of getting audiophile albums remastered, but you know, not obscure titles, but stuff that I grew up with that I think would be interesting as remasters as well. And here's Norman. Everyone who bought records in different countries from where they were recorded almost always got records from copy tapes. Not a big deal, exactly. And Norman will be on the roundtable on Friday. And here's the rule I have, Norman, I haven't told you yet, but you're not allowed to talk about Little Feat. It's going to be, you're going to be muted if it happens. So no rant about Little Feat, okay? So I was right. Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden. No, not the lead singer of Iron Maiden cut the A&M. I again, go and Google that. I don't have it off the top of my head. I apologize for that. But getting back to it, 1980s stuff. I mean, I grew up listening to a lot of this. This is an original Crowded House, Canadian cut. Why can't they start remastering these guys? I mean, there's a market for it, as we know. I think this is what we need to. This is what we need to do: is start looking at the different cuts. And I mean, if you remember, Crowded House album. I mean, World Where You Live, Don't Dream It's Over, which had huge radio play. And like I said, I keep mentioning, I have a lot of these Canadian cuts, 120 gram vinyl. Of course, it's probably tape. Obviously mastered, cut from a copied tape, brought up to Canada to be pressed. These sound great. I have no issues with any of these guys. They sound just absolutely wonderful. And I know MoFi a few years ago did the Duran Duran. Number of years ago now, they did the Duran Duran 7 and a Ragged Tiger. I mean, let's get the Duran Duran series remastered, recut. Why not? I like to see that as well. This is on my wish list, that's for sure. Here's Nathan Goss. Nathan, Intervention Records did the whole Erasure, Wonderland, and other titles from the era should be done. Yes, I agree. I want to see more of these 80s titles, because I mean, I think the market, the demographic right now is probably guys like myself, gals like myself, 45, 65 years old. We listen to all these on the radio. Why can't we get these? These would be unbelievable to get sort of remastered. The Kevin Gray treatment, Bernie Grunman treatment, Chris Bellman treatment, and that type of thing. I'd like to see that. Any thoughts, guys, on what you want to see? I want to see here. Sorry for a second. They use the copies of masters in the countries of origin. Absolutely. And that's one thing that's interesting, too. Some countries sound better than others. So it really depends, I think, on the sound of the country. I'm talking to Michael 45. He mentioned that as well. So it really depends on the culture at the time, and I mean, being in North America, being in Canada, I don't really think a Canadian pressing and a U.S. pressing sound that much different. That's for sure. Yaz was reissued recently. There you go. Absolutely. So Nathan, my wingman, yes. New Order, Depeche Mode, obviously, Duran Duran. Yes, I'd like to see them all. I was in my record store the other day, and they do have reissues of the New Order. But I mean, I want an actual, audiophile copy of that. That's for sure. Pete's Plastic Problem. How about some Chris Isaak represses? There you go. I would like to see that. Okay, you guys will like this one from my collection from yours. This is 1985. How about this? Katrina and the Wave. Remember this one? You guys remember the big radio song that was probably played every single day? Does anyone remember? Walking on Sunshine. Why can't these come out again? There's a market for this stuff, that's for sure. Absolutely. Now, Sabbath, yeah, and that's the one on my dream list. I have talked to Mr. Milligan from Rhino. He's aware that a lot of us and my viewers here would like to see Black Sabbath, the catalog, done, remastered from the original UK tapes from Kevin Gray. I'd love to see that. Please make it happen. Hopefully it can. What's Mazzy saying? There have been 3 Chris Isaaks, but yes, they should do them all. I absolutely agree. Chris Isaak. So right now, I think Chris Isaak's one. We can listen to The Wicked Game. Terry, just buy a used original. Some are incredible. I picked up an original Canadian Ghost in the Machine. It's absolutely amazing. That's the thing. A lot of these Police albums are cheap in the record stores. Canadian cuts, love it. Talking Heads box set. Yes. Talking Heads, I think Rhino can cut those ones, right? If I'm not mistaken. NEMs are killer reissues as well. Yes. And then here's one. You guys will love it. Do you guys remember the Escape Club? And I pulled this one out of my collection. This was 1980. God, I can't remember now what year this was. 1980, 88. And the song was big, Wild Wild West, lots of radio play. Now, I didn't realize at the time when I bought it, but this one was actually mastered at Sterling Sound by George Marino. So here you go. I mean, I guess that's why this one sounds so great. So great album, The Escape Club, Wild Wild West. This got a lot of radio play, 1988. These are the things. I mean, I know this is an obscure record or what this is, but this is a lot of fun. I think this could be a lot of fun seeing some of these 80s titles. I mean, these are the ones that I want to see. And then I thought this was kind of funny. You guys remember it? 1985 soundtrack for St. Elmo's Fire. I pulled this one out as well. Good fellow Canadian named David Foster produced and I think wrote every single song in this track on this album, if I'm not mistaken, or pretty close to all the songs, and wrote them. So St. Elmo's Fire, great album. The Brat Pack there, as you can see. You guys probably have this, but yeah, I mean, these are the ones. I mean, why not, right? I mean, we get sick and not that I get sick and tired of the stuff from the 60s, but I mean, there's some good stuff out there that from the 80s, and I know Nathan just mentioned, why not see New Order? Little Feat does rock, and yeah, Norman, you're right. This is the Chris Bellman cut. Sounds incredible. But we've gone three show roundtables in a row, Mazzy, with you talking about Little Feat. So it's been banned for the next show. So this is the last time you'll see it on the roundtable for a while. I'm banning Little Feat, but I do like it. So you can get this one on Amazon, great deal. Like I said, Chris Bellman cut, double LP gatefold. Sounds great. And if you're not familiar, it's called, Little Feat, Waiting for Columbus. I've had a few viewers ask me what it was called. Little Feat rocks. There you go. Springsteen has been remastered using the Plagent process. Absolutely. I've got the box set. I know we've spoken about the Plagent process. Jamie Howarth has been on my channel in one of the first roundtables talking about the Plagent process. I have the CD box set of Bruce Springsteen. I know, Maz, you have the vinyl box set. And what's he saying here? This is interesting. The first Springsteen box using the Plagent process sounds better than the original, but Bruce and company love the loud, compressed sound. Well, I mean, Bruce Springsteen, it's 1980s FM radio sound, right? That's what it sounds like to me. Absolutely. Can we talk about Waltz for Debbie? We can. I'm still waiting for my craft recordings. It's somewhere in the States right now coming to me. So I don't know what mine sounds like, but definitely I'm excited to hear that one. I've read some reviews on Facebook, and the new one cut by Kevin Gray comes out on top for different reasons as well. But yeah, I definitely want to check out Waltz for Debbie when it comes out. What's Nathan saying here? Little Feat would be far more powerful if they didn't get a kindergarten class to design the artwork. So this is what Nathan's thinking. Actually, it's funny that you say this. My daughter, who's 3.5 years old, loves this album. She goes, "Daddy, put on Little Feat," because she just likes looking at this album cover. So yeah, you're right, Nathan. But have they sold a lot of albums? Well, Norman loves them. Little Feat. Now, have you guys, tell me your thoughts. Have you guys, what are your thoughts? Anyone else have these, the original sessions here from Deutsche Grammophon? This is mastered by Sydney Meyer, and I have invited her on the round table, so I'm hopefully I'll get back to her as well. She'll get back to me as well. I'm excited to have her on to ask her a ton of questions. Norman Maslow here. Neon Parks is a wonderful illustrator, painter. Nathan, this is, again, maybe Mazzy, we can do a full show just on Little Feat on Friday. How's that sound? Thanks, Marcella. Fantastic album, Steve. And then by the way, Steve, congrats on getting Kevin to spill the beans on the upcoming Return to Forever record. You're welcome. Well, hang on a second here. Jazz Bums Mike. I didn't get the DGs, but I'm interested in them. They're very pricey. And that's the thing too, right? What's the cost in my end? So on Amazon, I got this on Amazon before taxes was 99, or I think it was $100 Canadian. So after tax, I want to say it's about $114 for, this is a 2 LP set here. Like I mentioned, pressed it optimal. You know, sounds pretty damn sweet, but yeah, they are very pricey. So I got to be very selective with what I'm going to get myself into. And like I said, this is a really new genre for me in terms of record collecting, the classical genre. So I'm definitely getting my recommendations from Michael Johnson from Poetry on Plastic. I mean, that's who I will get my recommendation from. Scott Wheeler from DJ, I got the Stravinsky and the Beethoven. Yeah, the Beethoven, apparently, according to Michael as well, is an incredible one. Scott saying they were great. I'd have to say yes. And then Matthew, yeah, a bit steep there for the wallet. It is. That's Canadian. So yeah, I got to be careful. It's very steep for us Canadians. I don't know how many Canadians are on. It's not that I complain about this, but I am a little bit envious of Americans, where you guys have sometimes get the $5 shipping if you buy something on Discogs. Here in Canada, there's duty, there's taxes, shipping's a little bit more expensive. So I keep saying, like, there's some great UHQRs, some Steely Dan from AP, there's the MoFi stuff, and man, there's, it gets expensive. $125 US record shipped to my door, just one, ends up costing us Canadians around $230. So yeah, it can be very expensive. What's Terry saying? 10% of Zeppelin is up for sale. Maybe whoever gets it on can get remix of Physical Graffiti. I've already asked the guy from Rhino, right, if they're going to look at doing the Zeppelin there. Who knows? I think Jimmy Page wants to do his own thing. I don't think the Zeppelin is going to be happening anytime soon, from what we can tell. That's for sure. Any other questions, guys? What are you guys listening to right now? Anything new and exciting? I know we always talk about the same old stuff, and I know a lot of my viewers were really excited last week when we sort of got out of the whole just talking about 60s and 70s genre, classic rock and whatnot. But we'll have to see. So Norman Maslow. So Steve, when I drive up to Vancouver, I can pack a suitcase with the records from the USA. So you can do that. I mean, that would actually be a smart thing. I should probably start ordering and using your address. I wouldn't mind that at all. Thank you for that. What records are on my Grail list? Well, I've got a lot of them, Leland. I have the mono box set. I've got the Ludwig Hot Cut Zeppelin 2. I really have to think about it. I'm in want of nothing. I have a lot. Like I said, I've got a lot of originals as well, Canadian pressings that my dad gave me. So I've got a lot. So it really depends. Hello, Steve. My name is Riley. I'll be in Vancouver on Monday. I would like to visit the HIFI Centre in Gastown. Hope to get to meet you. Thank you. Yeah, you have to make there's private showings here at the HIFI Centre. So I definitely suggest that you go on the website and book a tour of the facility. That would be great. And then Jason, hello, Jason. Steve Miller Band. I do have. Yeah, I mean, I grew up with the Steve Miller Band. I actually got to see Steve Miller live when I lived in Winnipeg. This is back in 1993, and you'll love this. The headline was Steve Miller. They also had Bryan Adams. I don't know, actually, Bryan Adams would have been the headliner, and Steve Miller was the second last band of the night. What a show. I mean, there's probably less than 5,000 people there at the time. It was pouring rain. I'll never forget it. I mean, Miller sounded exactly the way he's sounded when I listened to him for years on vinyl. It was pretty amazing. What's Leland saying here? Do you branch off into other music sources? Yes, I absolutely do. I've got a pretty decent collection of SACDs as well. I don't really, here at the shop, we can stream digital, so we do a lot of that as well. Saw Steve Miller last weekend, still playing and singing live, phenomenal. What was the story with Steve Miller when he was nominated, or I guess he got his acceptance speech with at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I think he went off on a tangent there. Does anyone remember what happened there? I have to go back and watch that on YouTube. Apparently it was pretty interesting. Have you approached Alex Dickey in the VC for a proper sit-down interview? I think it would be a good one. Alex Dickey for an interview. Well, Alex, Get up here. We'll have an interview sometime. Chris is saying, I'm listening to 3 songs from Jesse Lanz's new album. It's 9624. Gemma Hayes' new song at 4824. Hannah, sorry, I can't see very much here. You guys can read. And Peter Gabriel's too. Interesting, yeah. Well, that's another one I didn't bring up. I mean, Peter Gabriel, a couple weeks ago, I talked about Paul Simon's Graceland, maybe having an audiophile pressing of that. But I mean, that one was cut for it was at the 30th anniversary. Ryan K. Smith cut that one, and it was on 180-gram vinyl. So who knows? I mean, I don't know if that will come back. Not that worried about it as well. So some other my grails, I mean, I don't know. It just really depends. Here we go. Beethoven number 5, $90 USD. It's expensive. I mean, we're talking about the, again, the gramophone, Deutsche Grammophon cuts here. They are expensive, absolutely, but they're great. So some of my other grails, Leland, I mean, it really depends. I have everything I really want. I think now it's just looking at reissues. I mean, I've got the Black Sabbath UK original pressing, which sounds amazing. I also have the Canadian original pressing, which uses the US plates. And I will say this is the self-titled Black Sabbath. I think I did a video on it. The UK sound just has more bass to it and just has more dynamics to it than the original Canadian or US version, that's for sure. Leland, Steve, did you get the new issue Record Collectors News? I've not picked it up. Yeah, I haven't. I definitely want to do that. I love the new Simon record. Yes. I don't actually, Alex. That's another thing. I got to get some of that. Absolutely do not. I've had them on CD before over the years. Patched a few Pink Floyd holes with 2016 remasters. Yeah. That's the big debate, right? I mean, Pink Floyd, we know that it was remastered by James Guthrie and Digital Source. Bernie Grundman took the file that was mastered by Guthrie and cut it to vinyl for the 2016 remaster. So we know that. I confirmed that from the horse's mouth himself, that being Bernie Grundman, when I chatted with him, was it about a year ago as well. And I will say, I know I had a lot of viewers ask me if I could get Bob Ludwig on the program, because as you guys all know, he's retiring from Gateway Mastering. I think he's retired now. So I did reach out to him, and unfortunately, it's not his deal. He doesn't want to do interviews. I'm like, okay, I appreciate that, and I definitely wished him a happy retirement. So I mean, that's that. I was glad that he got back to me, and I had been working on him for the last year, going back and forth as well. And unfortunately, yeah, one of those things. But what he was saying here, I have no idea how you can be dinged from custom fees or taxes in BC. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a UPS thing or whatever. I mean, I could probably figure out a way to get the money, but UPS, when I buy from AP, they use whatever courier, and that courier sends me a bill showing me that I owe this amount and I got to pay it. So I mean, that's the way it works. I don't know. There must be a different way to do it, but yeah, it's interesting. If you're Canadian, you're not getting that. I have a lot of friends who buy records. I know, Jason, you're watching. You're in the same boat as me in BC. We get dinged duty and taxes or excise tax or something. It's probably some scam or ripoff that these companies are doing. That's for sure. Matthew Belisario, Sonic, do you think these newer 5.1 multi-mix Blu-ray art books can compete against the record in music collection? Why are they not being promoted heavily by the big record companies? Good question. Because CDs are not the most popular thing any longer, as we all know, right? I mean, or Blu-rays. I mean, now vinyl is the big thing. Maybe the market's not there. I don't know. Who knows? But that's the thing. I mean, I do have SACDs. I don't buy that much, but here at the shop, I mean, here in Vancouver, obviously this is where there's more high-end equipment, and a lot of clients of the HIFI Centre are streamers, which is really interesting. So they don't have record players, they don't have SACDs, they stream digitally, which I find very interesting. So HIFI Centre here, they do sell a lot of turntables, but not as many as you could imagine, as you would think. It's more just streaming, using the streaming platform. But yeah, it just fascinates me that maybe it's a Vancouver thing. I don't know, but not as prevalent here at this shop anyways, that's for sure. When is MoFi releasing the Van Halen stuff? That's a good question, Ken. When they do, I don't know. I've got the Canadian originals, they sound great. What's Norman Maslow say? I think most people don't care about surround music. There you go. I'm praying for a standard black wax version of the new analog Sabbath box. Probably just going to be picture disc. That's why I'm saying I went to the horse's mouth when I did the interview with Kevin Gray and Patrick Milligan. I said, Peter, it's Patrick Milligan, who's the A&R of Rhino. I said, Patrick, one of, a lot of our viewers, a lot of the audiophile people want to see Black Sabbath catalog, cut audiophile, Kevin Gray remastering. The tapes are available, and I know he's looking into it. I mean, there's nothing set in stone there, but I think that the demands there. Even when I made that video, when I asked him, and then I made a video, I actually texted him that video link, and he gave me a thumbs up for it as well. So let's cross our fingers. Yeah, definitely Sabbath is something I definitely want to see. More Canadian people here. In Alberta, we get hit by the couriers for GST and import fees. So there you go. So absolutely the same as me. So you got the US cars. Rhino is an example. Yeah, I got hit. I got the Coltrane and the cars from Rhino, the US site, and I got hit Music Sanctuary with a $34, what do you call it, import excise tax or something like that. So yeah, it's definitely prevalent in Canada. I mean, and there's other viewers I know have made comments that you can get the get that refunded somehow. I haven't looked into that, but we'll have to see. Van Halen Originals. I have the Van Halen Original Canadians. They sound amazing. So very excited. Duker Bud, you're saying no need for the MoFis. I mean, they're at 45 RPM using DSD. Who knows? Didn't Rhino just release? Come on, Alex Dickey. You missed it. I had it here. At the very top of the show, I even said some of the interesting stuff going on right now. There it is. Yes. Blu-ray audio. Quadio, I guess it's called, $25, Rhino. There it is. Yes. And then getting back to this, I'm really excited about the Tom Waits. Really excited about that, guys. I know some are, probably thinking, oh, well, it's been remastered, at 24-bit, but I still think Bellman remastered. It's going to sound really good. I'm excited for that one for sure. Steve, I know you are stressed right now, but I just got here. Sorry. Yeah, I'm so stressed. No, I'm not stressed at all. But nice to see you, Alex. Or nice to see that you're on the show. Thank you. Guys, anything on your wish list or Grail or stuff that, I really want to see other things come out. What do you want to see from the Rhino High Fidelity group there? I think that would be, I want to see some stuff from you guys. Let me know what Scott's saying here. There you go. I think, the Rhino stuff, cut by Kevin Gray, I think for $39.95 plus, of course, the shipping, incredible value, absolutely incredible value. And yeah, it's something I want to see. They're going to do 8 titles a year or whatever it's going to be every quarter. I'm not sure of what the next 2 are going to be, but I'm hopefully we'll see something that hasn't been out there for a while. That's for sure. I absolutely hope that happens as well. And I'm still, Leland, it's funny, I'm still in back of my head thinking about some of my grails. I'm pretty fortunate. I got a lot of this, like I said, I got a lot of stuff that I want. I don't know. I'd really, really have to dig deep. I decided I have a lot of Steely Dans. I have all the Canadian originals. I've got the MCI the half-speed mastered Gaucho by Steely Dan. I've got the Speaker's Corner Can't Buy a Thrill. What else do I have? I've got the MFSL half-speed Katie Lied. So I've got all those audiophiles. So I've decided that I'm probably going to end up, I've already pre-ordered the Asia that comes out, I want to say December 1st, so that's going to be released. I'm going to get the Gaucho as well. And if you look at that album, 1980, when it came out, I believe it won a couple of Grammys, or did win at least 1 Grammy for Grammy Record of the Year, which is fascinating back in 1980. It is a great album. Very deep, very well done, and I think it's actually well written. It's probably one of Becker and Fagen's best written lyrics. If you want to go back and listen to that one, I really like it. I actually like it better than Asia. But if I was to choose my top 3 Steely Dan, Can't Buy a Thrill, Gaucho, and then Asia. My least favorite would be Countdown to Ecstasy, and then after that, probably Pretzel Logic. for whatever reason. Maybe I haven't listened to it enough, but that's for sure. Please know Dire Straits, Rhino High Fidelity. Yeah, we've got the Abbey Road half speed. We've got the Mobile Fidelity one that came out. Yeah, thank you. Who's going to buy that? No one's going to buy that at all. I can't see that. Rhino Hi-Fi, first and foremost, better packaging. I was told, guys, that Rhino's next run will not be in those little U-line boxes without any protection. So you're definitely going to see it change up, is what I've been told. That's for sure. Marcel, I hope Hotel California will ship this week. Yeah, middle of July, I heard through the grapevine. So 17,500 copies of the MoFi One Step. I have not ordered one. I've got a Bernie Grunman one that was cut a few years ago. That sounds really nice. I don't know. I'm not. I don't think it'll be sold out. I'm not rushing out to get it. I know the SACD that MoFi put out and released a month or two ago is also sold out on the website. Arnaldo, Warner Rhino have a lot of great Sire catalog titles that they can reissue in the High Fidelity series. Yes, the 80s. I know. I'm like with you. I think we got a lot of viewers here. I was looking at my demographic of my channel, and I've got a high percentage of people my age in their 50s that grew up with, and I was showing the records at the top. I mean, I was showing the Escape Club, I was showing Crowded House, we're talking about New Order, and these are just fantastic albums from the 80s, and we know they were recorded on tape, so they can then cut them from the original master as well. So yeah, I definitely agree with you, Arnaldo. That would be great. Joe Jackson, intervention titles by Kevin Gray are insane. Yes, I don't have those ones, but I definitely have heard that before. Absolutely. What's Leland saying again? Leland, yeah, customer service, and I have made a note to Mr. Milligan about that as well. I'm really hoping they change it, that's for sure. Oh, Jason, thank you. I don't look a day over 49 and a half. Yeah, I turned 50 in November. Some days I feel it. A little bit of a side note for me as well, guys. I do have 6 daughters altogether. 5 biological and 1 stepdaughter, which keeps me busy. So doing these videos is definitely not my full-time gig. This is my hobby. And I really appreciate everyone's support. It's been really fun. Really love doing this. I've been able to meet a lot of cool people, some master engineers and great people from the vinyl community. And I really appreciate everyone's support as well. It's been really sometimes humbling. Just some guy from Vancouver doing what he loves to do. And I literally do these things, just so you know, on my lunch hour. I have an hour for lunch, and I do them once, twice a week. And sometimes when I have time at home, I'll do a video or 2 doing some reviews. But the reviews, when I do shootouts, I do them here at the shop. And I really like to take time to listen to each album a lot, take a lot of listening notes. So I definitely don't take some time on it. So when you watch my shootouts, I do them really carefully. I take a lot of notes and make sure that I'm giving you the best overall, I guess, my opinion, which means probably really not that much, but yeah. Matthew, Steve, have you heard some of the new jazz records from Edition Records? No, I haven't. That's another one that's again on my list. I can't have everything, that's for sure, but yeah, I'm going to put that down, that's for sure. Yeah, so we're going to have a roundtable this Friday. My usual gang will join. We'll have some interesting discussion as well. And like I said, I'm going to be banning this album. So I know Mazzy's watching right now. This is no longer going to be talked about as of today. Now, I wanted to take you, if you guys cool with it, I mean, we have a few more minutes here, and I really appreciate you guys hanging in. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what you guys would think of this. And yeah, Terry, I have the CD. I have the original New Order Substance CD. I would love, and that's probably one on my grill. I actually want to get the original UK cut of that album. I would love to get the UK vinyl cut of that album. I actually probably will order that one, The Substance. That's one of my favorite albums. But guys, I want to show you the HIFI Centre. I want to show you sort of what's going on here. I don't really get into details. I actually decided eventually I'll do more of a detailed sort of show. There might be some customers that are doing some private showings, but I definitely want to show you. I'll take this off the tripod. I'll turn it around, and we'll just sort of walk through it and go through it so I can show you. I got to turn the camera around here somehow here. I can figure that out. So here we go. That works. Okay, so there's my tripod here. So I wanted to show you what's going on here. So this is one of the listening rooms, as you can see. They got the big ass Macintosh quads here. The what are these 1.25 kWs? We got two of those, right, to power these massive BW speakers. And I love these are the Opus cables as well. I think the company that makes Opus, if I'm not mistaken, is from, I want to say just down south, either Portland or you know, just close to Vancouver as well. And then of course, you know, customers will come in and then test all the equipment here, as you can see. And then, you know, it's all hooked up to the iPad here, so everything can be streamed. I wanted to show you guys the, this is the MA352 integrated amp. MA12000. We got the MT5 turntable. This is the Blue Point cart on there. This is the, I listened to this SACD player. This is the Mac MSD SACD, as you can see. So this is one of the rooms. There's many rooms in here. And I can't see your comments right now for whatever reason, because the camera's backwards. So let me just see if I can figure that out for a second. So yeah, you can see that. There's one of the rooms. And Rick says he likes that table. And this is where I do my stuff. So you can see that. It's just panels. I can show you. It's just not artwork. It's just panels, acoustic panels. And you can see here too, really helps to absorb the sound. This is just some cloth, like spongy cloth. And this is all just panels as well. It really absorbs the sound here. And that's the most important thing when you have some high-end gear. You definitely want a nice room that absorbs the sound, right? And you know, like I said, I'm fortunate enough to do my shootouts in these rooms with these big BW speakers here. I think these are the, God, I think these are the 804s or 802s, if I'm not mistaken. I apologize. Don't have my notes on me. This isn't Bay Bloor Radio, Terry. I'm at the HIFI Centre in downtown Vancouver right now. So this is one of the doors. I can walk you out here. I want to show you just sort of the main area here. You can see the music running right now. And all the different turntables, all the Rigas, all the different speakers that we have. P3, P3. You can see. Yeah, the MT10 is a great table. And then I'll show you over here. Probably go this way. Sorry, guys. This is the first time I've sort of done a walk around like this. So that was a room I was in over here. And then over here, we've got another room set up. AccuPhase integrated amps here. These are just absolutely fantastic. This is the E280 integrated amp. This is the 380 here. And then this is the E800. So the Sonus Fabers here, the Kef speakers here. And then we got a whole array of B&W speakers here, as you can see. And again, the different paneling. So yeah, I mean, incredible. And this is where I do a lot of my shootouts in this room as well. Wanted to show you guys this. So I think I did a quick video on this one not long ago. So here's a Lin Climax DSM streamer. I mean, top of the line. We've got the Lin LP12. You can see here. And then Gryphon, I guess it's called Diablo 300 or Griffin, depending how you want to call it. I mean, you can't get better than this for an integrated amp. And we have the Gryphon or Griffin speakers here as well. And then, of course, the cables are the Gryphon or Griffin cables as well, as you can see, all the way down. So, I mean, and these are the the EOS2s as well. Gryphons or Griffins. Depends on where. I know in Canada, I guess the guys here call them Griffins. I think in the UK they might call them Gryphons. I don't know. I apologize for screwing it up. But yeah, the dainty speakers. Yeah, very dainty. But again, this room, you can see this is where I do a lot of my shootouts using this turntable here. I mean, it's a perfect size, as you can see. Great little couch here. And then you know, the sound gets absorbed on these panels, and yeah, amazing. And I love this system. These guys retail for a hell of a lot of money. The Griffin or Gryphon Diablo as well. But I'm definitely fortunate to, to basically be able to do my shootouts on this. And Steve, do you carry tubes there? Yes, we do. So yeah. So yeah, you can see that there. And then someone was asking what the shells are by whom. So these are Northstone shelves. And we carry a bunch of different shelves here as well. HIFICentre.com here, if you guys are interested. I'm not trying to do a sales pitch or anything like that, but if you're interested in it, here's the website right there. You can see. And I was going to say one other thing too. Did you guys check out this? This is the new Lin that was designed by the guy that used to, I guess, was design the iPhone. So this is that new Lin that's come out. I found that quite interesting. What's it called here? Yeah, 50th anniversary Sondek LP12. Fascinating. So this is the room I do most of my shootouts in. Fantastic room, and of course you can stream using the iPad as well. And I'll just take you to the front. Here's I think I've already showed you the different turntables here. And then in here we got just another room. I'll shut the door. More paneling to absorb it. This is not artwork. Someone asked me. This is all designed to basically help absorb the sound. Again, this is an iOS acoustics turntable. And these speakers are absolutely absolutely phenomenal. These are the Sonus Faber speakers made in Italy. Amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing. This room rocks if you crank it with the right record. Unbelievable. And it's even got on the ceiling here. We've got it all. You can see the ceiling. It's the same paneling that's on the sides. It really absorbs the sound. You really think you're in the recording studio when you're listening to this. Listening in this room. It's absolutely crazy. Slow down. Hello. That's funny. Lin turntables are exactly, Arnaldo. I have to go fast. I only have a few more minutes here. So yeah, and I just want to take you guys to the front here. We got another room. This is more of a home theater room. As you can see, HIFI Centre puts in home theaters for the rich. So maybe this is your basement look right now, but it's pretty sweet. There's our front desk here. More displays. Lots of new stuff coming in. And then there's more displays. So customers can walk in through the door here. HIFI Centre. And then basically we got lots going on. Been lots of new stuff coming in. And then, yeah, I mean, you have a look. Got some Cambridge stuff here. Riga stuff here. I have this one at home actually right now. I really like this amp. It's fantastic. Orfdale. More Sonus Fabers. Great speakers. And this is interesting too. This is a pure Fidelity turntable. If you guys are familiar with it, just go to Pure Fidelity. I think it's .ca. This is made in Canada, actually made in Vancouver, if you can believe it. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful turntable. And I've actually done a lot of my shootouts on this one as well over the years. Show you that. It's just absolutely fantastic. I think it's going for more than most people's cars are worth right now. And then I'll just finish up the tour quickly, just with a lot of you guys I know have Marantz. Here's a Marantz set up here. This is the integrated network amp. Of course, the Marantz turntable you guys are familiar with. And then we've got a CD player. Love these speakers as well. And I've done my, I've also done my shootouts, not shootouts, but my presentations in here, as you can see. So another beautiful room. And it's just, you got to have the right listening room for this. And that's exactly what it is. It's amazing. I'll show you this quickly. These are Prima Lunas, tube amps, preamps. This is strictly a streaming room, like I was mentioning before. And then you can see here, powered by Audio Quest. So yeah, pretty amazing. pretty amazing. Well, guys, I wanted to thank you so much for everything. I got to get out of here so I can see you guys. Hang on a second. Do that somehow. There we go. Yeah, I wanted to thank everyone. This has been fun. Like I said, I wasn't sure what to expect from all this, but it's been a fun hour. But yeah, I really appreciate everything. And stay tuned for the roundtable this Friday. We're going to have that one at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with our usual gang. So until next time, guys, spin some vinyl today. Have some fun. Turn it up. We'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.